G'day folks, it's the Maple Monkey here again with another video for you. This time we've got a unboxing video for you for the game Wayfarers of the South Tigris. This is a game by Garphill Games, and it's the first in their, I'm guessing, South Tigris line. They've done a bunch of other games, but I guess they're probably most famous for their sort of two big lines. We had the South... the North Seas, sorry, not the South Seas, the North Seas and the West Kingdom trilogies before this, and this is going to be the first in a, I guess, a trilogy of South Tigris titles as well. So this one is Wayfarers, and the designers here are Shem, Phillips and S.J. Macdonald, I think S for Sam, so I think I'm getting that right. And we've also got just got some metal coins here and a little promo deck of cards here as well. We'll have a look at those as we go too. So if we have a look on the back here quickly, you get sort of an idea of the game and what it looks like. So as with pretty much all the Garphill games of these sort of trilogy lines, they're various sort of takes on Euro style mechanics. So you can sort of see here we've got this sort of central board which has cards and different sort of places. There's kind of like track here that you're sort of moving along, and then you have your own player boards where you sort of build a tableau of cards out to the side. So we'll have a look at that as well as we go. Let's have a look here. I think on the side it talks about player count and all that sort of stuff. So we've got 1 to 4 players, 13 and up, and 60 to 90 minutes if the box can be believed. So let's tear into it. So these have always been pretty good games in my estimation. I quite like all the Garphill games that I've played. I probably prefer the West Kingdom trilogy, I think, a little bit more than the South, not the South, that keeps wanting to say the South, the North Seas. And of the West Kingdom games, I think I like Viscounts the best, but a lot of people I think really like that Paladins. So, you know, your mileage may vary there. So here we go. One of the first things that was interesting when this game was sort of being I guess advertised or, you know, shown off, was that the box is a bigger size. It's sort of like your more standard sort of Ticket to Ride style size box here than their previous titles. They've always been a little bit smaller, so I'm interested to see that they're great for, you know, saving space, but they're always really jammed packed and hard to sort of put your stuff back into the box. So I'd be interested to see if these are a little bit easier to sort of repack and that sort of thing. Although I think they always do provide, once all their sort of expansions come out, they usually provide some sort of big box option as well. So let's open this up here. So we can see here we've got the rulebook, and if you're familiar with any of their games, there's a lot of sort of similar iconography across all of their games, which makes it quite easy to sort of like get into the games, because you're sort of like used to the symbology at least. So here we go, nice glossy pages. Yeah, I usually find the Garphill games quite good in terms of the rule books. They're usually fairly good at explaining everything. Lots of good examples and that sort of stuff as well. We've got your contents there, so you can see that there are dice in this game as well. So there we go. So that's the rule book. And there is, for those interested, they usually do put a solo mode in here, and you can see here there's, looks like player setup, there is like a 1-player sort of mode there. So I believe there is, here we go, solo play as well. So there are solo rules baked into the game there. So that's good. So we've got our first thing we've got is our layer of Punchboard. So you can see here a bit of a glossy sort of sheen to it there, relatively thick. And here we have the player board, and on the back, I think they often do this, on the back they have sort of like a solo, like a bot type thing that you sort of play against, and that's often on the back of their player board. So they usually give you a range of bots you can play against. I'm not sure, just looking at this, if this is like a specific bot. So if we have a look here at the next one here, is that a different symbol? No, that's the same symbol, isn't it? I wonder if there's some. Oh, here we go. So you can see here, I think this is like this bot. This symbol here says this bot likes to go for these cards, whereas this bot here likes to go for whatever this symbol is here. So I think they are sort of slightly differentiated there. So let's have a look at these. So here we have the player boards, and so there's a little bit of a kind of like a little I don't know if it's quite polyomino, but there's a little bit of a game here where you're sort of trying to cover up these bonuses and things there on this chart here at the top throughout the game. You've got a bit of a scoring chart there, I think, and you've got a little bit of the beginnings of your card tableau here. And when you have this laid out on the board, you can basically place your landscape tiles out in either direction. You have sort of like your exploration of the sea out this way, and these cards will be sort of exploration of land. And then as you stretch those out above those spaces, you can place the sort of the night sky cards, which sort of have different constellations and planets and things there as well. So your kind of your explorers are sort of heading out in different directions and then charting the skies as well, I think is like the underpinning sort of theme of this one as well. You've got dice placement spots, and I think the dice get placed on the card. So as you put out the at your tableau, you're sort of giving yourself more sort of worker placement spots for your dice, I believe, as you sort of spread these out in different directions. Whereas the constellation, like the night sky cards, tend to give you sort of scoring bonuses or end game sort of bonuses that you're sort of working towards. So the more of these you put out, the more chances you've got to sort of whatever combos you're building are going to earn you points there. So yeah, lots of interesting sort of mechanisms going on in the game where you're sort of like doing a bunch of tableau building, dice placement. There's worker placement as well in the game as well. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So you get one of those. Okay, you can see that there. Okay, we'll have a look at those, each of these, so that the eagle-eyed viewers, if you want to zoom in or pause on any of these screens, you might be able to sort of see some of the differences and that sort of thing as well. So that's that one there. Okay, I think these are all the same. I think I could be wrong. Well, no, hold on. Oh, I'm wrong. Check this out. Yeah, don't listen to anything I say. Just zoom in on the screenshots, I guess. But you can see here there are different sort of bonuses on each of these little tracks here. So I guess each player has sort of like a differentiated board there. Let's check out these ones underneath. We have this one. There you go. You can see the difference there. Yeah, and I can hold on. I was going to say I can see different bonuses here, but I think these are the same. I think these symbols are the same on each. Okay, did we have a look at the back there? Yeah, there's some slight differences there, I think. I wonder if these are different. Let's have a look here. Yeah, all these little bonuses are different too for the like I guess the bot player that you're playing against there. Okay. And last one, let's check that out. Punch it out there. Nice. Yeah, they always do really interesting themes. These guys, they're just like I guess your Vikings. That wasn't like necessarily a wildly different theme when they sort of first came out with that North Sea trilogy, and I guess your European sort of stuff there. But the way they sort of picked some of those themes, the idea that you're sort of like you're the architects in the West Kingdom was their sort of first in that line, and then that sort of rondel system in the Viscounts was a lot of fun, and just lots of just interesting takes, different twists and things like that. And I've been really impressed with the names of the titles that have sort of been advertised for this game. Wayfarers is such a cool theme. I think they've got Scholars and some other ones as well coming out with this one, so always interested to see what they come up with. And even their little extra games, like I think Legacy of You and those games that they come up with are quite cool. We've got all these different you can see they punch out nicely there, nice quality. All these different little bonus things that I think these are what you place out on those spots here. So you can get these sort of upgrade tokens or whatever they're called, place them on here, and they sort of give you different bonuses in the spot. So I think if you sort of trigger dice that you're using in these columns here, if you've placed these out, they're going to give you different bonuses and that sort of thing as well. So that's quite cool. I'll put that back in my Punchboard so I don't miss it later on. Now we've got this is something similar to all their or most of their games, they've got these sort of provision tokens here, sort of a general resource that they use. You've got these nice coins here, but we'll have a look at the metal replacements because their metal coins are always really nice as well. Now, interestingly, I have played this on Tabletop Simulator, and I'm trying to think if there's like different denominations of money or if they're just sort of like a coin is a coin sort of thing. I'm not sure, but it looks like all of these are the same. Okay, so there you go. These are all kind of doing the same thing, different sort of color codes there. Yep, they're all kind of the same, so we won't go into too much detail with those. Now here we have, oh, this is interesting. It's not actually, they're not like a fold-out board. You just sort of stick them together. This is that central board. So what this does is it sort of gives you, I guess you place it like that somehow. Maybe that's upside down. It looks like it's upside down. Okay, so you place that out. I wonder, yeah, that's double-sided. I wonder if that's player count based or just, you know, alternate. Just to give you a bit of variation, but you place those out like that, and I think you have your starting end down here with you have some sort of player piece in your color that's here, and then you head up these tracks here, which are a bit like if you've played Lost Ruins of Arnak, you've got that sort of track where you can go to the different tiles and sort of take branching paths at certain points. So from here you can go to here or here, but from this point you can't get to this spot over here. You can go here or here, and as you pass through these spots, they'll give you certain bonuses, and it's a bit of a race too as you go through. I think you sort of generally always get the bonus, but there are certain spots where if you're the first person to get there, you get certain bonuses. So you can see that continues along there, and this is also like a end game trigger as well, because once you reach the end of the track, that kind of triggers the end game, I believe. I'm not sure if that's the only trigger for end game, but I think it's one of them. So it's kind of, you can kind of have a bit of control over the game, whether you're sort of racing that or not. And I think there are certain parts of the game where you kind of, I think you run out of actions and you're sort of forced to take one of these sort of moving up the track actions. Otherwise, you can just choose to take them early and just sort of race up this without doing as many sort of efficient actions in your other areas of the game, I guess. So, yeah. So, and then you've got some sort of, I guess, big rewards at the end if you get there as well. And then as part of the same board as well, because this is the main board, you've got these three different sort of areas, which kind of like a bit like an area control sort of thing, like these influence areas. And the more of your own cubes you have in these areas, they're a bit like a resource as well. You can spend back and forth to do different abilities, but they sort of like give you points at the end, whoever has the most in these spots, I think. And they sort of use this influence area sort of thing in a few different mechanisms in the game. So that's another sort of just another aspect to it. So you can see there's lots of different parts of this game that sort of interweave together. And then the other thing is, around the board you have all these worker placement spots. And in fact what these are where you put the cards that you can be buying, or I guess drafting, I guess it's buying, for your tableau. They get placed out here, but they actually act as the actual worker placement spot. So this is essentially the bonus I think you get from going to that worker placement spot, but that spot is actually the card itself. So you can place your workers on the cards as the worker placement spots around these spots here, and you can also buy those cards as well. So yeah, there's lots of different stuff going on. It's a really interesting game. Now this is quite interesting because I think, I wasn't expecting this, most of the other games I've had of theirs have just a sort of a flimsy cardboard insert, and you know, not much room to stack everything in there, and you know, good luck to you, maybe get yourself a third-party insert or something like that. But this looks like more what would come in their I guess their big box that they do. They do their own big boxes with their own inserts as well. So this is interesting. I'd like to see how this goes, and also whether or not they fit. It looks like there's plenty of room there, generous room there, and considering these are the only cards that you can see here, I'm guessing that there's enough room for sleeved cards, because you know, obviously sleeved cards become a lot thicker because of the thickness of the sleeves, but this looks like there's plenty of wells here, so this deck would fit across both areas here, and this deck would easily fit across both areas here. And it also looks like there's plenty of room, so if they do expansions, I'm hoping that at least a couple of the expansions would still fit in this box here. So that's quite good. Well, let's get into it. This stuff looks fun too. I'll just double check there's nothing else in there. I think we've looked at all of that. So let's get into it. Hopefully I haven't slowed down too much explaining the game. Probably some of you are thinking, I know what the game looks like, just show me the components. So let's have a look at these. These look like a bunch of fun here. So these are these little asterisks. Ooh, I think I'm mispronouncing that, but these are the little, I think, like the little influence tokens. So these are the different player colors. So you've got purple. I don't know if that purple's showing up. Purple and sort of like a mustard yellow sort of thing, I guess you'd call that. I don't know. That's yellow, purple. Got this sort of light blue. It's got kind of like a sky blue, and red. Okay. So those look like the player colours, so they're the different things you can put on those influence spots. Now the meeple are not in player colours because these are like a shared resource. So you've got yellow, green, any other different meeple? I think we've got a blue here. Is that a blue? Blue meeple. Okay. And they've got the little sort of turbans, I'm guessing. Apologies if that's not the right terminology for the headwear there, but little meeple with little sort of turban headdress there. And what have we looked at? Yeah, the green, blue, yellow, and I think they sort of are different. I think they're sort of different power levels. I think the green are the most powerful. They can go to sort of more spots. I think the yellows can only go to yellow worker placement spots, and the blues can only go to blue spots. Another little wooden piece that we have here. This is a player sort of marker. That might be what you use to sort of go down the track, I think, in a player colour. So you'd have those in those same 4 colours that we looked at before. I'm not seeing anything else different in there that I think we need to look at. But yeah, you can get a good sense of the different components there. I'll just quickly show you, pop that in there. On the board here, this is what I was talking about with those worker placement spots. So you can see here, this spot, you can send a green or a yellow, whereas here you can spend a green or a blue. Up here, oh no, hold on, this requires money to go to this spot, and this looks like this requires green. So, and I think the yellow ones are sort of tied to, these are like the land cards, and these are the sea cards over here. So you sort of need blue specifically, or green. So green can kind of go anywhere. So that's cool. Here we have the player color. Oh, these are nice. Quite small actually. Not tiny, but sort of smaller than I'm used to. Kind of reminds me of, are these the sort of dice I used to have when we were playing Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000, or are they a bit bigger? I'm not sure. But yeah, they're nice. They're nice and rounded. Got a good feel to them. Bit of a gloss on them. Not the most, you know, they're not sort of like super deluxe or anything, but yeah, they're quite nice actually. So that's different player colour. So you got the red player, the blue player, purple, and that sort of yellow. Okay, so that's those. So how many of those? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of those. So I think what you do at the beginning of your turn or round, you roll your dice, and that might be what, maybe it's the dice that determine how long you can sort of last before having to do one of those track actions there. So I think sort of like, if you can keep placing dice and getting use out of them, and there's probably spots that let you sort of like refresh dice and back and forth, so you can kind of stretch your turn out a bit. But once you've run out of dice, I think that's when you have to sort of take one of these actions, and you can probably pull your dice back, I think, if memory serves me correct. I only played it the once or twice on tabletop, so so there you go. We've seen the dice, we've seen the wooden pieces. There's actually quite not really a lot there, is there? Yeah, so looks like plenty of room for expansions. Before we get into the promos, let's have a look at these now. So what are these going to be? These look like some different gold cards. I think these might be sort of real sort of game end or, you know, goal sort of cards that sit at the end of the track. So they're not space cards, and they're not land or sea. I think they're sort of like a, I guess, parchment or map cards or something like that. All right, as you guys are aware, if you've seen any of my videos, I heavily research everything I'm talking about. All right, so yeah, it looks like these are Whoopsie, let's check these out. So you've got these cards here. Now, am I holding this the right way up? I think so. Maybe they sit like this because you can see this guy here. Maybe that's like tap the guy or something. I'm not sure what that is, but you can see the cards here. So I'll just show you these. How are these different? Oh yeah, so it's this. This is what you're looking for here. They all look like they kind of do this. So you maybe have to do this to get this card or something like that. But you can see here that this symbol here is usually points in these games. So if you can get 5 of these cards, maybe you get 2 points or something, or something. Okay, but you can sort of get a sense. So it's all the same artwork on these ones. But this will just give you a sense. If you're sort of familiar with the game, this might give you an idea of the sort of range of goals you can be aiming towards. Try and go through these slowly enough so you can make it out. These cards feel nice, they're nice sort of linen finishy type feel to them. I did notice on the box there was something about these are like eco-friendly cards, so whatever they're made, whatever materials they're made from, or maybe the process that goes into making these is eco-friendly, maybe doesn't, you know, have as much waste, or maybe there's some sort of initiative where they replant trees or something. I'm not really sure. But you can, there's a little sign on the box about it, so if you're interested, I guess you could research that, look into it. So here are the, I think these are like the landscape tiles. So we've got like a cityscape there with the minaret. You can see there like a dice there that maybe gives you like a camel symbol, or maybe you have to spend a camel symbol or something to put a dice there, I'm not sure. Yeah, so you can get an idea of, you get some instant bonus for doing that. Maybe you get to place one of your asterisks, still can't pronounce that, can I, on the yellow influence spot there. There we go. So again, giving you a provision, maybe a green tile and a influence. 2 provisions to give you a land card, I guess, and a meeple of your choice, I guess. There we go, and you can see the different backgrounds, and what they do is they sort of make a, as you expand your tableau, they give you a bit of a panorama. So you can see these 2 here, if we put them together, they stretch out from your player board, and yeah, you get the different cards there. So let's just give you a little bit of a rundown of some of the cards there. These are maybe sort of type symbols to give you sort of like set collection bonuses and stuff, you know, collect this many mountains or whatever it might be. This one looks like it relates to the space cards. So, yeah, there we go. Some sort of oasis there or something. Yeah, cool. It's kind of a pretty card there, isn't it? And the Miko, or the Micho style, again, he's been a stalwart for these guys, hasn't he? Illustrated all their games, or most of their games. He's got a really striking style. Not really sure, what are these? Are these like starting cards or something? Oh no, I think these are the solo cards. I think it's like a solo deck, and you sort of put these out, and if you get so many blue or red sort of cards in a row, that sort of triggers some sort of action for the solo player. Okay, so you got your space deck here, so these are the ones that sort of go up the top of your tableau. So these ones I think sort of are multipliers for your score or something. So if you can get this many things, you get a bunch of extra points or something. Alright, so we've had a look at those. And continues with more space cards here, I guess, and then we're gonna see these sea tiles as well, these sea cards. So I've played this on the tabletop. I've played the solo mode once, and I played against basically I played a 2-player game against one of my mates, and yeah, enjoyed both games. Very crunchy, lots of thinkiness. I'd almost sort of describe it as the same crunchiness of as paladins, if you're familiar with that, or at least viscounts. I think I find viscounts a little bit easier to sort of grok in my mind, and I guess that's why I sort of prefer it to paladins, because paladins I just find a little bit too hard for my brain, my poor old brain to cope with. So there you go, but definitely. Oh, there you go, Jupiter. That's cool. Moon, comets. I guess that's Mars, and I don't know if that's a planet or the moon. Wait, hold on, didn't we have the moon? Maybe that's the moon. Maybe that's another planet or something. We've got Saturn. That's really cool. Just the starry sky. And I think I'm holding these upside down, aren't I? These are supposed to go that way. So, sorry guys, I'll go back through those so you can see the symbols the right way up. Oh, moon, sun and moon there. Well, have we seen the sun yet? I'm not sure. But I guess there is a sun in here somewhere, or maybe that was in the previous stack of cards. Because we saw some... Oh, there it is. Yeah, the sun. So I guess you're trying to get them in a pair or something. That's cool. And, alright. Let's pop them down. Now we've got character cards. Okay. Interesting. Oh, yeah, I think these are like characters you can get... they're up the top. Maybe they're the ones you spend coins on. No, maybe I think you spend coins on the night sky cards, and these are the ones I think you spend green workers on. You can buy sort of like assistants. So adventurer, astronomer. So these sort of, I think, get put in a tableau for you, but they're sort of like separate to your actual sort of player board tableau, I think. Maybe they go underneath. Oh yeah, that's what they do. Sorry, yeah. I think you slide them underneath your tableau cards, and then every time you go to that particular card, this triggers some extra bonus as well. That's cool. Yeah, it's all starting to come back to me now. Alright, there you go. You can see all the different range of characters here. And that's sort of Miko classic style there. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for you guys. You can maybe pause the screen if I am. And I'm sure we'll see a few of these characters sort of show up in other promo cards for the other games soon, because they like to sort of cross-promote their games with promo cards and stuff. So I'm sure some of these guys will be available for, you know, architects and raiders down the track. And here we have the C cards. So again, you sort of expand your tableau out, and you have these sort of matching symbols. It kind of reminds me of what you see in those Tainted Grail cards, but yeah, that's cool. And interestingly, you can put your space cards sort of above either the sea cards or the land cards. Don't think it really matters, as long as you've got spaces to put the space cards above. You can put them anywhere you like, I think. Hopefully that gives you a good sense of what's in there. Okay, so let's pop those down. We've seen all of that now. What I might do, I'll quickly show you these, and I'll show you, we'll have a look at the coins, and then what I might do is I might take some time to pack this away, put it all in, and show you what that looks like. And if you're wondering, these cards generally the green label sort of sleeves for most of those sort of sleeving companies. So I think that's I think it's the American board game size, I think. That's what they tend to be. Let's have a look. So here's our promo cards. So we've got a star card. So what's this one? It's just a single comet. Not sure the significance of that. Maybe it's supposed to be Halley's Comet or something. Not sure. Maybe some sort of famous comet that was charted by the people of the South Tigris here at the time. I'm not sure which. I don't know if it would be Caliphate or what sort of peoples this time period is based on. I'm sure they go into detail, because they always do try and treat the time period and the place that they're talking about pretty sort of respectfully. So I think there's probably an explanation in the rule book about, you know, what this time period and what this place is, you know, who the people are particularly at that time and that sort of thing. So yeah, interesting. What have we got here? We've got a Wanderer. So this looks like a character from straight out of Raiders or something like that, maybe, in the game. Protector. So it looks like a little bit of everything. You've got some assistants, you've got a space card, some of those goal cards there. You've got the sea card, and a couple of land cards as well. So, okay, pretty cool. And I think they've talked about, it was either Shem or Sam in one of their videos or something, they talked about that a lot of the time these promo decks are cards that, you know, just quite didn't make the cut when they were sort of like editing and culling down after playtesting, like what cards really make, you know, the base game sort of deck, you know, based on, you know, making sure that everything's like balanced and everything. And these ones, they just, for some reason, it didn't quite make the cut, but they go, you know what, let's chuck them in the promo pack sort of thing. So I think that's the idea with these. So they're not, you know, sort of novelty cards, you know, based on the Dice Tower or something like that. But look for those in future promos and stuff. But yeah, interesting. Okay, well, we've seen all of those. That's pretty cool. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. Let's just, is there any secret things hiding under here? No. In board games these days, it's always a good idea to check under the box. So there you go. Yeah, so what we'll do, I'll just quickly, let's have a look at these coins. And let's pop it open. Now we've got a nice little couple of baggies too now, but just watch out for the staples. So let's open this up. Let's get rid of that staple there if I can without damaging the bag too much. Pop it over there. And a bag within a bag. Pass the parcel. Alright, so... Alright, and... let's just pull a couple of these out so you can hear the clink. Yep, nice satisfying clink there. Okay. Yep, nice shine. There we go. You can see that. So I'm not sure, apologies, again, I don't know if I'm holding this the right way up, if it's that way or that way that you would read that, or if it's, I don't think it's that way, right? I think if in Arabic it would be, I could be wrong. Anyway, if you're in the comments, or sorry, if you're watching the video and you want to tell us if there's any significance what this says, which way I'm supposed to hold it, feel free to leave a comment in the, or a message in the comments there, so educate us and let other people know who are watching. But yeah, be interested to see if this is like sort of just in-game sort of iconography, or if this is like a historical, you know, trying to be a historical representation of a coin or something. But yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, nice heft, nice quality there. So definitely be using those in the game. So all right, now I wonder if there is. Let's have a look at the side of the box here. I wonder if there's a chart telling us how to pack this back in. Doesn't look like it. I'll just have a quick look at the book here. Otherwise, I'm going to have to try and work it out myself. Doesn't look like anything there, does it? No. No. Let's have a look at the front. I doubt it would be in the middle. Anything in the front there about packing it away? Nope. Often, though, with these Kickstarters and stuff, the designers will put something in the Kickstarter comments, or not comments, but you know, the updates, or they might have something on BGG about how to pack this away. But to be honest, it doesn't look too difficult. But we'll see how we go. All right, well, I'll catch you guys on the other side. Okay, so we're back. I just wanted to pack it up so you can sort of see how it goes just from the box itself. So we open the lid again. We'll see how we've done the packing. I did take out, so I didn't punch out the coins here, and I did originally try and put this underneath the insert just to sort of create a little bit more or less space here, but it turns out you sort of need a little bit of space for the boards and stuff here, so that's you don't need to stack those underneath. And yeah, I don't know what I'll do with. I'll probably just get rid of these coins here. Don't really need those. Although that's not being very, it's being a bit wasteful, isn't it? So we've got the book on top, and then I've just sort of stacked these. These don't seem to have a sort of spot that they sit in that insert or anything like that, so I could be wrong, but I think these just kind of sit in there. But there's enough depth here that everything just kind of does fit. Doesn't seem like there's any sort of lid lifter there. However, there are some loose components here, so these don't really sit and cover. You can see it kind of shifts around, and you'll see as I lift this up, you'll see there's loose bits and pieces there. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend storing this game vertically unless you were maybe going to sort of baggy these little bits and pieces up as you when you close it up, because otherwise I think they're just going to sort of all fall out. So Anyway, so but it all does fit in, so that's great. So there's the player boards on top, and then these sort of game boards on underneath that, and then you've got the layer here. So now I could be getting some of this wrong, and feel free to correct me, or if Shem or Sam see this, or anyone in the publishing or developing team there see this and want to correct me, that's fine. I'm sure professional people will be coming along with videos soon to show how this is done properly. But yeah, everything does fit. It's great, and it looks like, if I've got this right, it looks like there's plenty of space for expansion material, because what they've got, so there's enough of these wells, so you can see here there's plenty of space. This is each of the sort of 4 main decks. You've got the land and sea cards, the space cards, and then the assistant or the people cards, and I've just chucked in there as well the solo cards and like those gold cards at the end there. So they sit in there, and there's plenty of depth there that if you sleeve those up, they'll easily sort of fit in there. Same with the space cards, with plenty of room for more cards to go in there, and these ones as well. You can see there's plenty of room there. Then I hope I'm getting this right. It seems like there's 4 wells here, so I'm assuming, okay, well, that's 4 player colors. And it didn't look like there was anywhere suitable for these little things. You wouldn't be able to get them out very easily in these spots. So it seems like all of the player components all just sit in these wells here. So your dice, your little influence chips or influence tokens, and those sort of tracking tokens there, they all go in those 4 spots there. Then you've got, it looks like the meeple. Again, none of these things seem to fit in these spots well. So if you put the meeple in here, they kind of sit up, and just the number of them doesn't quite fit what you've got here. So as far as I can tell, they don't go in there. They just kind of all go in here, sort of like in a. Trust me, they do sort of fit if you sort of put them all in properly. But yeah, they all go in there, and there's not that many of them, so they sort of fit in there nicely. Then these big deep wells are for your 2 basic resources, the provisions and the coins. And then here, all those sort of what do you got? I don't know if you call it tiles or bonus tiles or whatever they are. That's what these are for. So you've got these wide or long slots here for the different. So you've got the blue, the yellow, and what are these, black bordered tokens there, or tiles. So they fit. There's about 4 per tile fit there nicely. So that all fits nicely. Then you've got the big tiles that go out on the main sort of that race track sort of board there, and these are sort of like the random rewards that you sort of seed at the beginning of the game. They all go in there. And then you've got the single tile or the single spot tiles as well in the different colors. So you've got pink and is it green? Yeah, pink and green. And from what I can tell, there seem to be 4 different types of green tiles. These are all the same. So you've got camels, you've got what are those, telescopes, and the 4 different types there. So there were 4 slots here, so I just figured, okay, well, they probably sit in there, but there's plenty of spots here, so I didn't really see much rhyme or reason here. These are all individual too, so I guess you could put each of these pink ones, they're all unique, so I guess you could put 1 in each here. I guess that's what you're supposed to. They just seem quite wide for that, but you could do it that way, but I guess that also gives them plenty of room for, if further expansions have more of these tiles, there's plenty of space to fill those up as well, because these, yeah, you can see just 1 sitting in there by itself just seems a bit funny, but that's how I've sort of worked it out anyway. So feel free to correct me if that's not how you're supposed to put those in there, but that does fit really nicely, and I guess it's quite easy because you can just sort of go in, okay, you got your four cards, you got your 4 player colors, you've got your sort of generic resources here, and then these are your spots, and nice and easy to pack these away because you just sort of separate them out by color and type and just bang, 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 put them in and take them out when you need to. So I think that's how that all goes. So I'll pop those back in there. I'll just show you how easily that goes in there. Again, nice and easy, but there's no sort of slots for these to slide into. And so these are going to be sort of slipping around here. So you can see, if I was to turn that up vertically, all these things would come raining out sort of thing here. And you can't really sort of block it too much. These don't sort of sit nicely, like, you know, they sort of overlap there a little bit. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of movement there, but yeah, so that's the package. That's Wayfarers of the South Tigris. So hopefully your copies are on their way to you as we speak if you haven't got them yet. but it certainly seems like it's landed in Australia, and so looking forward to getting this back to the table. So yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you guys, and yeah, happy gaming. Maple Monkey out. See you guys.